Nomad list is great. I would love for you to talk about that. But one sort of way to talk about it is through you building Hoodmaps.
Yeah.
So you did an awesome thing, which is document yourself building the thing and doing so in just a handful of days, like 3, 4, 5 days. So people should definitely check out the video in the blog post. Can you explain what Hoodmaps is and what this whole this process was?
So I was traveling and I was still trying to find like problems, right? And I would discover that like everybody's experience of a city is different because they stay in different areas.
Yeah.
So I'm from Amsterdam, and when I grew up in Amsterdam, or didn't grow up, but I lived there in university, I knew that the center is like in Europe, the centers are always tourist areas. So they're super busy. They're not very authentic. They're not really Dutch culture. It's Amsterdam tourist culture, you know? So when people would travel to Amsterdam, I would say, don't go to the center, go to, southeast of the center, the Jordaan or the Pijp or something, more hipster areas, like a little bit more authentic culture of Amsterdam. That's where I would live, and where I would go. And I thought this could be like an app where you can have like a Google Maps and you put colors over it. You have like areas that are like color coded, like red is tourist, green is rich, green money, yellow is hipster. And you can figure out where you need to go in the city when you travel. Because I was traveling a lot, I wanted to go to the cool spots.
So just use color.
Color, yeah. And I would use a canvas. So I thought, okay, what do I need? I need to...
Did you know that you would be using a canvas?
No, I didn't know it was possible because I didn't know.
So, I mean, this is the cool thing. People should really check it out.
This is how it started.
Because like you honestly capture so beautifully the humbling aspects, the embarrassing aspects of like not knowing what to do. It's like, how do I do this? And you like document yourself. Yeah, you're right, dude. I feel embarrassed about myself.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's called being alive. Nice. So you're like, you don't know anything about. So Canvas is a way. It's HTML. Yeah, it's HTML5 thing that allows you to draw shapes.
Yeah, draw images. Just draw pixels essentially. So
yeah.
And that was special back then because before you could only have like elements, right? So you want to draw a pixel, use a canvas. And I knew I needed to draw pixels because I need to draw these colors. Mm-hmm. And I thought like, okay, I'll get like a Google Maps iframe embed, and then I'll put a div on top of it with the colors, and I'll do like opacity 50, so it kind of shows. So I did that with Canvas, and then I started drawing. And then I thought like, obviously other people need to edit this because I cannot draw all these things myself. So I crowdsourced it again, and you would draw on the map, and then it would send the pixel data to the server. It would put it in the database, and then I would have a robot running, like a cron job, mm-hmm. which every week would calculate, or every day would calculate, like, okay, so Amsterdam Center, there's like 6 people say it's tourist, this part of the center, but 2 people say it's like hipster. Okay, so the tourist part wins, right? It's just an array. So find the most common value in a little pixel area on a map. So if most people say it's tourist, and it becomes red. Mm-hmm. And I would do that for, all the GPS corners in the world.
Can you just clarify, do you have to be, as a human that's contributing to this, do you have to be in that location to make the label? Or
no, people just type in cities and go berserk and start drawing everywhere.
Would they draw shapes or would they draw pixels?
Man, they drew like crazy stuff. Like offensive symbols, I cannot mention. They would draw penises.
I mean, that's obviously a guy
I would
thing.
do the same thing, draw penises.
That's the first thing. When I show up to Mars and there's no cameras, I'm drawing a penis on the sand.
Man, I did it in the snow, But the penises did not become a problem because I knew that not everybody would draw a penis and not in the same place. Mm-hmm. So most people would use it fairly. So just if I had enough crowdsourced data, so you have all these pixels on top of it. It's like a layer of pixels. Yep. And then you choose the most common pixel. So yeah, it's just like a poll, but in visual format. And it worked. And within a week, I had enough data, and there was like cities that did really well, like Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. A lot of people started using it. Like most data is in Los Angeles
because Los Angeles has defined neighborhoods.
Yeah,
and not just in terms of the official labels, but like what they're known for.
Yeah.
What are did you provide the categories that they were allowed to use as labels?
The colors, yeah.
As colors?
So it's just like, I think you can see there's like hipster, tourist, rich, business. So there's always a business area, right? And then there's a residential. Residential is gray. So I thought those were the most common things in the city, kind of.
And a little bit memey, like it's almost fun to label it as that, right?
I mean, obviously it's simplified, but you need to simplify this stuff. You don't want to have too many categories. Mm-hmm. And it's essentially just like using a paintbrush where you select the color in the bottom, you select the category, and you start drawing. There's no instruction, there's no manual. And then I also added tagging, so people could like write something on a specific location. So don't go here, or like here's like nice cafes and stuff. And man, the memes that came from that. And I also added upvoting, so that the tags could be upvoted. So the memes that came from that is like amazing. Like people in Los Angeles would write crazy stuff. It would go viral in all these cities. You can allow your location, and it will probably send you to Austin.
Okay, so we're looking. Oh boy, drunk hipsters.
Air bro and bros,
bros, hipster girls who do cocaine.
I saw a guy in a fish costume get beaten up here.
Yep, that seems also accurate.
Overpriced and underwhelming.
Let me see. Let me make sure this is accurate. Let's see. Dirty Sixth. For people who know Austin, know that that's important to label. 6th Street is famous in Austin. Dirty Sixth, drunk frat boys, accurate. Drunk frat bros continued on 6th, very well known. West 6th, drunk douche bros.
They go from frat to douche.
I mean, it's very accurate so far.
Really?
They only let hot people live here. That's. I think that might be accurate.
It's like the district. Exercise freaks on the river. Yeah, that's true.
Dog runners, accurate. Yeah. Saw a guy in a fish costume get beat up here.
I want to know that story. Like,
so that's all user contributed.
Yeah, and that's like stuff I couldn't come up with it because I don't know Austin. I don't know the memes here and the subcultures.
And then me as a user can upvote or downvote this. So this is completely crowdsourced.
That's like because of Reddit, you know, upvote, downvote. Mm-hmm. Took it from there.
And that's really, really, really powerful. Single people with dogs, accurate. At which point did it go from colors to the actually showing the text?
I think I added the text like a week after. And so here's like the pixels.
So that's really cool, the pixels. How do you go from that? That's a huge amount of data. So there's we're now looking at an image where it's just a sea of pixels that call it different colors in a city. So how do you combine that to be a thing that actually makes some sense?
I think here the problem was that you have this data, but it's like it's not locked to one location.
Yeah.
So I had to normalize it. So when you draw on the map, it will show you the specific pixel location, and you can convert the pixel location to a GPS coordinate, right? Like latitude, longitude. But the number will have a lot of commas or a lot of decimals, right? Because it's very specific. Like it's like this specific part of the table. So what you want to do is you want to take that pixel and you want to normalize it by removing like decimals, which I discovered, so that you're talking about this neighborhood, this street, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what I did. I just took the decimals off and then I saved it like this. And then it starts going to like a grid. And then you have like a grid of data. You get like a pixel map kind of.
And then you said it looks kind of ugly. So then you smooth it.
Yeah, I started adding blurring and stuff. I think now it's not smooth again because I liked it better. People like the pixel look kind of. Yeah, a lot of people use it and it keeps going viral. And every time my maps bill, like Mapbox, I had to stop using. I first used Google Maps, it went viral, and Google Maps it was out of credits. So I had to. It's so funny. When I launched it, went viral. Google Maps, the map didn't load anymore. It says over the limit. You need to contact enterprise sales, and I'm like, but I need now like a map. So and I don't want to contact enterprise sales. I don't want to go on a call, schedule with some calendar. So I switched to Mapbox, and then had Mapbox for years, and then it went viral, and I had a bill of $20,000. Was like last year. So they helped me with the bill. They said, you can pay less, and then I now switched to like an open source kind of map platform. So it's a very expensive product, and it never made any money, but it's very fun. But it's very expensive.